I'm here at Confluence Park in Denver, Colorado, where two rivers converge and they come together to form a much greater, more powerful river. In our previous sessions, we've shared important principles to help you make the most out of your job transition strategy. We do want to help in this final session to bring them together to form a greater, powerful way for you to move forward and help give you life as well. Every day, kayakers come here to practice their skills of their sport. They use the rapids, they use the rocks, they use the water, they use the challenges, and they use them to grow. In the same way, we want you to know that turbulent days, while they do come, God has a purpose for them in your life. They're to help you know that He is with you during these days, and He can walk with you during these moments. Our final session is going to be talking about the mind game. It's an exercise of learning how to control your thoughts and how to focus your life so that you have joy in the journey. We want to remind you that God intends for you to have joy. So let's listen as Steve Javis presents these concepts of the mind game.
This session of the Inspired Calling Careers with a Purpose workshop is called the mind game. So we're going to talk about some of the thoughts that go through our head, some of the things that we think about, some of the things that make it difficult or make it easier to win in our job search, in our job transition. There's a film called Facing the Giants, and the story is really about a football team, a no-account football team that lost and lost until they found a way to change their ways. The coach is a guy named Grant Taylor, and he was putting his young players through some paces and really wanted to draw out of them a little more than they thought they had. In fact, they had lost a lot of games, and they had lost all confidence in their ability to win football games. And he said, as he put them through the paces and put a blindfold on these players, "Why the blindfold, coach?" And he said, "I don't want you giving up at a certain point when you can go further." We draw on the poet Marianne Williamson, who wrote a famous poem. It's also used in a sports film. The poem's called A Return to Love, and she writes, "We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us." It sounds a lot to me like what Paul wrote in Romans. Creation groans for the sons of God to come, manifesting the nature of their King. Creation groans. The trees, the rocks, the mountains we live around are just hanging around, waiting for us to hit our stride and fulfill our purpose, to manifest the nature of our King. That's an awesome thought. An awesome thought. Another thought. Our minds are processing, they say, researchers say, 50,000 thoughts per day. That's per 16-hour waking day, about 52 thoughts per minute. That's about every second some fresh, unique thought is running through your mind, looking for some place to land. These thoughts are either moving us toward our God-given potential or away from it. Or like me, whose attention challenge just distracting. Ooh, squirrel. We are so accustomed to looking at life through a lens of negativity because the world, the media, life, stuff just hammers at us. And Paul wrote in one of the happier books, Philippians, a unique mindset so that we could live joyfully. God wants us to be considerate of others and to be full of prayer and to be peaceful. God has in mind for us that we would be positively thinking, that we'd be mindful of the good things around us, and that we would put these things into practice. That's what Paul wrote in the book of Philippians. In fact, he wrote some amazing, outstanding stuff which really doesn't make any sense. You think it's Pollyannish. It doesn't apply to me. He doesn't understand. So I want to tell you a little bit about the backstory of Philippians so that you can get an understanding about Paul's reality. You see, the church of Philippi was established when Paul and Silas went through that part on the northern part of the Aegean Sea. They were called over to what's called Macedonia and the city of Philippi. And there, Paul and Silas were walking around, and this girl followed them, and she was a fortune teller. She knew what they were up to and said, "These are prophets of the Most High God. Follow them, and they'll tell you how to live." And after a while, it just got annoying. She's following them around, yelling, yelling, yelling. That's it. Paul's had enough. "Shut up, woman. Devil, come out of her." And she's lost her ability to prophesy. She's lost her fortune-telling abilities. And this cut into the prophets of the fortune-telling industry in Philippi at the time. And so they had Paul and Silas arrested. When you get arrested in Philippi, you get flogged. In their particular case, they also had their feet put in stocks, and they were placed into the inner cell of the Philippian jail. Now, this is not 3 hots and a cot. This is a hole inside of a hole, inside of a rock, a mountain. It was a tough prison experience.
We hope you've enjoyed this series on Careers with a Purpose. It's been my joy to walk with you as we've looked at the different components that are essential for you to have a great job transition strategy. For us at the Inspired Calling team, it's also been a great privilege for us to use our city of Denver, Colorado as a backdrop to illustrate these important components that you have to master.